Hi, I'm Neil Fu, the host of NCT Tech Talk. Today, we're honored to have Mr. Vin Sidhu. The CEO of Pestech Energy 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐬𝐻 to share with us some advanced technology to contribute to our day in and day out life. And welcome, Vin. Can you share with us about Pestech Energy 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐻 and also about yourself?
Good morning or good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here, Neil. Thank you for the invitation. Pestech Energy is actually a subsidiary of Pestech International 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐻. Pestech is established since 1991.
Right.
And we have expanded our wings outside of Malaysia, covering mainly ASEAN, Middle Asia, Iran, Africa, and last but not least, Papua New Guinea. Mm-hmm. Our key focus actually is on EPCC projects. EPCC meaning engineering, procurement, construction, and commissioning. And with that, I think we are able to expand to various parts of the business, ranging from transmission, distribution, right down to rail electrification on transportation.
All right.
And Pestech Energy forms between four portfolios, key portfolios.
Right.
They are namely renewable energy.
Okay.
I think we have invested significant number of projects, namely on the area of rural electrification. Here we are introducing microgrid using alternative energy like hydrogen. We also have the advanced metering infrastructure. Mm-hmm. Advanced metering infrastructure forms the basis for all smart grid solutions for the future.
Okay.
The third portfolio, which is our core business, is providing intelligence in substations right across the grid.
Okay.
And that includes SCADA, substation control system, relay control panels. And last but not the least is manufacturing. We manufacture switchgears for medium net grids, and also we do relay control panels.
Okay. As Vin say, they have four pillars. What we can maybe easily to understand is about the substation and also the smart metering, right? So metering is like what we in our households, those kind of meter that you are enabling with your technology, and how it works for that kind of meter system.
Traditionally, if you look at the meters that we have at the moment, they are namely static meters. Basically, they are not intelligent meters.
Right.
Going forth in the direction of smart grid as a totality, whereby smart grid is the pillar for the utilities across the regions, to develop a system which is providing intelligence. So what is about advanced metering infrastructure? It's an infrastructure in which smart meters are deployed in households, in residents, in industrial areas, in commercial buildings, to allow dual communication back and forth, so that the meters are capturing data consumption, and that is also then passed on to the meter data management. And through the meter data management, one is able to look at the profile of the consumption, where can they do the savings, what is the loads that's really a high consumption, and also prevent, especially in buildings or commercial buildings where the rooms are rented out to tenants and so on and so forth, to detect any losses. Could be technical losses, could be also be theft, and that could be detected. And one of the main reasons of smart grid is to provide base information, and the base information comes from consumption. Okay. And in order to do that, the advanced metering infrastructure provides that basic requirement.
So that means with the smart metering, you are managing the inefficiency in the past, like could be leakage, as you said, theft, and also a fair deal of the distribution, so that you have, maybe like this industrial park, you have more energy consumption compared to maybe one of the remote area that is not fully utilized. This is what the smart technology enabling.
Yes, I think it does more than that. It also profiles the consumption of the consumer, whereas what's their load, and also allows the owner of the, say for the industrial park, to determine the future investments required in order to cope with the load that's required within the industrial park.
All right. And also, you are talking about green, right? You're talking about green power. So, like, easy to understand could be like EV charging station or EV charging system. Are you in it?
Yes, very much so.
All right, okay. Yeah. So, how do you see this trend in Malaysia? People are saying that our petrol is relatively cheap compared to other countries. That a lot of people think that the EV, they would be a very slow development in this country. Is it true, or what is your take on that?
There are two sides of the coin.
Okay.
And the direction that globally, how the move is towards EV is based mainly on the automotive industry.
Okay.
Automotive industry sees the need that fossil fuels may no longer be the only means of energizing or using as a means to travel and so on and so forth.
Right.
So EV cars are not new. EV cars have been there since the 1800s.
Oh, that long?
Yeah, it's been there for a long time.
Okay.
However, what has defeated the whole progress of growth in EV is basically infrastructure.
Right.
With regards to Malaysia is currently very active, very active. I'm glad to say that Pestech has been involved in EV charging for the last 3-4 years. We have done in-depth study.
All right.
You see, all of this technology comes with intelligence and software. Basically, it's controlled by software. If you look at the charging apparatus itself, it's basically electricity, which is our core business.
Okay.
And what we provide together with the hardware is the intelligence to it. Meaning, in the event industrial park of NCT plan in the future, it's not only about providing the chargers around NCT industrial park, but also how can you sustain it. Sustainability is the most important part of it.
Okay.
And what we do there is that we provide infrastructure that can be linked to third parties, and that can be done through software.
All right.
So it's not only dependent on our hardware, but we have partnership agreements and also alignment with other suppliers who do provide hardware.
Okay.
And then it will be a seamless energy charging right across the board.
Okay. So talking about NCT Smart Industrial Park, with the words of smart, after listening to your core business, your explanation, like you are fitting into this smart industrial park. So how do you fit into this big piece of land, 730 acres, that of course NCT have put in AI for AI security, and perhaps the utilities? You have electrical, you have water, and even inside they are talking about in future they will see could be the electric vehicle trucks, even the small vans and all this. How could you help this industrial park to really add value on it?
I think the basis of this industrial park is awesome, really intelligent, that you're planning something that's not been done before.
Right.
And how do we, Pestech, because Pestech is very much involved in ensuring that we provide green solutions.
Okay.
And how do we do that? One of the key levers that we have taken up is ESG.
Right.
Environment, social governance.
Governance.
And I think environment, social governance has some corner pillars that we've been defined. And while basing our technology on ESG, I believe NST also can reap from the solutions that we are providing. Right. Let me just run through with you some of the key topics that we think that will add value. For example, ESG is now a requirement. It's no longer a wish list.
Yep.
As you know, the climate change and all the COP27 and so on and so forth, all public listed companies are required under the Bursa to have a clear mandate on ESG. So our clear mandates, let's run on economic itself. We are looking at across the region. We are looking at incorporating certain sustainable construction methods and technology into electrical grid development.
Okay.
That means that we are not just taking a project and deploying what is available, which is it's the easiest way to do it.
Right.
But we are looking at alternatives on how can we improve the electrical network, how can we provide the intelligence to the owners. We are also participating into renewable recycling energy business by leveraging on market experience. What is our market experience? Waste. We have done various projects on waste. We are also trying to push hydrogen as alternative fuels. This is a clear mandate coming in various utilities, especially in Sarawak. That's very much a topic of great interest.
Yes, yes.
We also looked at digital intelligent infrastructure tools and software. You see, if you look at today's world, everything is about statistics, everything is about software,
data
it's
management.
about data and security.
Right.
Security is key when you have software.
Yeah.
And I think what we are trying to portray is using the hardware and providing the intelligence to it by using IIoT devices or by using on how to manage your assets. We see in a traditional business, once infrastructure is set up, the substation is normally locked and forgotten until there's an issue or a problem or there's a incident. Then it's certain aspects of...
One thing about this NCT Smart Industrial Park, and it's granted as a managed industrial park, the first managed industrial park by Invest Selangor, and also very much supported and led by the Selangor government. So with the managed industrial park with 730 acres land, roughly it could be about 700 factories, big and small factories, and it's a gated and guarded as managed. Do you think that it is easier to adopt this kind of smart energy management there?
I think the size does not really matter.
All right.
The size is not of importance, because what is important is what do you want to manage. Because especially when you have a managed industrial park, you need information.
Yeah.
You need to manage. So in order to manage, you will have various substation, distribution, and so on and so forth. So how do we do that? The first step of it is to digitalize almost all the equipment within the substations, within the various what we call the outlets, or the the factories, and so on and so forth. And what we do is that we look at the most feasible communication mode possible. There are various modes of naturally. There is the frequency, there is PLC, and there is also GSM, which you can actually obtain data. So the main point of management is to provide NCT data so that they can analyze, they can capture what exactly are they managing. Traditionally, you will, in a commercial building, you will have a building management system. We are going beyond that. We are managing the assets.
Okay.
What does that mean, managing the assets? We are determining the assets that you have deployed around your vicinity, and we are determining when is the due time for service, preventive service program. We are also having a software which determines the resources. How do you manage your resources? Because you have, as you said, you have a large area of management. So you will need a large force also to manage it. But with software and technology, that might be reduced. And that is a reduction in cost also, and which that the intelligence will determine what's the status of the assets and advise what needs to be done in the next step. It's like your car, a
Yes,
BMW
yes,
car.
yeah, you
The
have all the
BMW car
preventive
will
maintenance.
basically, what we are providing is exactly like what a car will provide.
Right.
It will determine, okay, in 10,000 kilometers, the car needs to be serviced. A prompt appears on it, the car needs to be serviced.
Okay.
That's preventive. And the issue arises if one of the switch gears fail to trip, there will be an indication there is a failure in one of the particular protection devices, so that the team that's managing on site will be able to know exactly what is the life cycle of the products that they have deployed.
Okay.
So that's one of the key points of it's part of the overall smart grid, but mainly more of Energy 4.0,
All right.
in which Energy 4.0
this
is
I about to
driving.
ask you, electricity
it's driving.
4.0, yeah.
It's driving technology. It's
Okay.
driving intelligence. It's driving the viability and increasing the life cycle of the products.
Okay.
Because if you know when you're going to service, it's like your car. If you know when you're going to service, you service it promptly, the life cycle increases. Whereas if you wait,
And also you reduce the downtime.
exactly.
NCT Smart Industrial Park, the target industrialist is a semicon E&E that they go for high precision.
Yes.
They can't afford with the downtime. So with
Exactly.
your preventive maintenance system or preventive system, that helps a lot to increase the efficiency.
I think not only that, if you look at your investors, the smart investors now are looking at companies which are deploying a solution which is based towards environment, touching on ESG again, especially in the area of technology. The point is, the technology is there, everybody can provide, but is it aligned to the international standards? Is it in line with the global requirements of climate change? And ESG forms the platform for it. And,
Right.
and not only that, NST can ride on Pestech's drive towards ESG, we will complement each other because NST has the know-how of how to develop industrial parks, constructions, and so on and so forth.
Definitely for this Smart Industrial Park that we are qualifying ourselves with the ESG standard with the Green RE. Because we go even up to silver status. That of course with your system it would help.
Yes.
It would really make us that adopting that approach rather than gimmick. A lot of people's planning that a smart ecosystem and this and that. But really with the Pestech as a strategic partner, I think NCT main business that all these values that would come together.
We don't only talk, we walk the talk.
Yep, we walk the talk together.
For example, we have a large-scale solar farm in Cambodia.
Oh yeah, we are doing solar farm as well.
Yes,
Alright, okay.
especially in the green environment. Renewable is key for our topic.
Okay.
And I believe that the team in Cambodia, we are not deploying hundreds of people to manage it. It's a 20 megawatt plant. And what we actually deployed there is asset management tool.
Right.
And we are able to manage the assets here in Kuala Lumpur.
All right.
And which the team in Cambodia will then register any issues, any topics through the tool, which will be managed from the resources here, and then you track it. So that's a tracking system which determines the downtime will be reduced significantly and the matter will be addressed. With that, you also have a data identifying what's causing these failures. Why is it occurring again and again?
Right.
And how can we address it? This is part of all the service methodology that comes within the asset management tool.
So we really need this kind of expertise and also the system provider from Pestech that to help NCT Smart Industrial Park to realize all these. It's just not the dream, but it really will help our mankind or the human that to manage our energy more wisely. So I think we really appreciate Vince today's precious time and also his valuable information. Of course, sometimes when we hear more of it, a bit of a terminology and things like that, but put it as simple that we are managing the energy, managing the electricity power more wisely, and also that we will help the industrialization with the green environment, with the eco-pub plus smart management.
Yeah.
So I think with that, thank you very much with Vin's contribution. We're looking forward, and NCT Group, our company, also looking forward to we walk the talk together, because this industrial park is such a big one. At least down the road 10-15 years, we have to holding hands and to make our nation more green, more beautiful. Thank you very much, Vince.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
All right.
It was a real pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this round of NCT Tech Talk. See you for the next episode again. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.